Jim, been waiting to get this chance to talk to you this morning because you know how Wall Street works. You know how these things play out. Explain what you think happened with Archegos and what the potential implications are for the broader market. Well,
I think obviously there was a foot race on Friday. Goldman won it. They had those pieces done before the market opened. Looks like Nomura and Credit Suisse were too late and ended up holding the bag. I do think that you guys have had excellent coverage of these companies. The question is about Viacom and whether they basically hurt people. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that people are big boys. And as Henry said, they got smoked. Discovery got smoked. I think that the Chinese stocks come back first because when you see Tencent Music already making a comeback. But it's emblematic of what I think will happen, which is that younger people, Becky, are going to say, I told you it was rigged. I told you the whole time that Twilio was going down, it was rigged. I mean, they're going to look at the stocks and say, oh, Zoom, I knew that was rigged. And Andrew raised a great point this morning was who moves stocks up? And if it is the Robinhood crowd, I think they're going to say, I've had it. And if they say I've had it, right, of course, when Robinhood's doing their IPO, the market's going to change. And they always call the boomers and the suits the enemy. Well, it means the boomers and the suits won. And, Becky, they don't want to hear that.
That is an excellent point that we have not mentioned at all today, Jim. Just the timing on this with the Robinhood IPO that's coming up. And I guess that's the big question. Who else was holding on or got in at the highs? Because if you watch that over 2 months, I mean, that's the crazy thing. You look back 2 months, and the stocks are basically unchanged, Discovery and Viacom at least, from where they were 2 months ago. So this was everybody who got sucked in on the upswing, and then who got left on the down.
Well, we would talk endlessly, David and I, about, like, what is Viacom doing up like this? What is Viacom? Then obviously there were people who were, I think they were shorting it and getting crushed. It's very interesting because I think a lot of the non-boomers should be asking themselves, well, what did you think happened with GME? What did you think happened? It's the same thing as what happened to, to this fund, to Archegos. I mean, geez, they just got completely wiped out. And obviously, we don't hear from Melvin Capital. We don't hear from these guys. It's just it is regarded as sinister by this younger cohort, and they'll go home. And what a shame! But they'll go home. They don't stick around. They're short timers. It's really a shame because they got smoked.
And the bad news is the lesson that teaches them for decades. I mean, you do need to be invested longer term to make money over this. I hope they don't get burned and then turn away from the markets for good.
We don't want it to be 2000 where we lost a quarter of the people who were in, and it just can't be like that. You try to teach them, Becky. We just keep teaching. Keep teaching. They don't want to hear from the suits. They don't want to hear from the boomers. But the only thing that we really have for them is history, and they need to hear it. Stay in the game. Don't get blown out.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.